Doing? Good, it's good, it's good.
Well, before we talk about Colorado, just kind of reflect on 2 weeks ago at TCU. It wasn't a great first half or any phase, it seemed like, but in that second half, after you guys gave up that opening touchdown, you guys pretty much held them out of the end zone to enable the offense to come back. What was said at halftime, and just kind of just reflect on that, on what you guys were able to accomplish in Fort Worth.
I mean, like RJ said, we went to the locker room, nobody was like really doubting ourselves, like, man, we're gonna lose this game. It's like we went into the locker room and we seen a bunch of players, like they didn't, like a couple plays, yeah, they earned a couple plays, but a bunch of the plays that they made, we gave it to them by making, some mistakes, and those minor mistakes that we make end up having major consequences, like touchdowns, couldn't go out the field on third down, all because of those mistakes. But, went into the locker room, made some adjustments, and, took a little while after the first touchdown for us to, actually fill into those adjustments, but after that, everything started rolling.
Wondering, you guys have a big challenge this week against Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders. What did you see so far from film? Did you watch the game on Saturday night? And what do you think the challenge will be for you guys to maybe limit him and the damage that he can do?
I mean, like I just finished watching film with some of the coaches as well, but, he gets a great quarterback, strong arm. He has the ability to extend plays. When you have a great wide receiver core with speed and a quarterback who has a great arm, who trusts in his arm and his receivers, I mean, it creates a challenge for your secondary. So you got to go out there and do what you got to do, handle your business.
Quad, going back to the TCU game real quick, going into this game as well, what lessons do you feel like you can learn from that? Because you had mentioned there were mental errors in that first half from TCU that you cleaned up in the second half. Playing in another close game in the Big 12, like what's some of the lessons you came away with, or the defense came away with, that they could apply next week?
I would say that the lessons we learned from TCU, we just have to communicate better. It was times out there where we were playing together, but we weren't actually playing together. We were just on the field together at times, and when you see those mistakes, you can see there's miscommunication here, another one here. It would lead up to big plays, which lead up to yards racking up to get them into the end zone.
Describe the focus on practice so far this week, leading up to this one.
I mean, the focus for each and every game is going to be at an all-time high, because you want to perform at a level where your coach can trust you to go out there where there's no falter or anything that you do. So, I mean, the focus hasn't changed. We just have to pick up the intensity and fix our mistakes from the previous weeks, such as communication aspect, and stay on our P's and Q's.
Quad, being on a team that has so much talent through transfers, recruiting, all that, and you just kind of like that steady hand, what do you feel like your role is truly on this defense, not only just on the back end, but just on this UCF team?
I'll say my role in this team is, I would say, like I said, probably in the spring, I'm kind of like a mentor. I like for the people who are just coming in, for those who are coming in freshly into college, I'm more of a mentor, as in keeping them mentally stable and mentally there, because I know at times things do get rough and you tend to wander off and feel left out and things like that. I'm there to help them, like, hey, don't look at it this way. There's a different view. I'm very optimistic when it comes to life and thinking and everything like that, because there may be bad moments during a football game, but hey, yeah, you did give up a bomb, but you didn't give up a touchdown. You get to fight another play. So I take that mindset and I take it out to the outside world for every athlete that comes into this UCF. So a bunch of the freshmen who feel like, man, they're trying me, I'm like, hey, you're a freshman right now. There's a bunch of guys ahead of you with experience. Just take that knowledge. Sometimes you have to sit in the back to see the whole room, see the whole vision, so you can get a bigger picture, which helps you out in the later years.
TCU and Colorado are both pass-heavy teams. What's different? What stands out on film watching those two offenses and the way they attack in the passing game?
I would say Colorado, their passing game is very, I'd say very speed heavy. If you don't get your hands on the receivers, there's a lot of damage they can do to you. Whereas TCU is pretty much the same way, but I would say they just have bigger receivers, pretty much it. I mean, TCU and Colorado, they're very pass-heavy offenses. So if your secondary isn't on the same page, the damage, just as you can see in the previous game, they can do a lot of damage, which can lead up to touchdowns over and over.
Colorado has given up 16 sacks in 4 games. But UCF has only gotten 1 sack in the past 3. Do you expect to get to the quarterback? Is that a bigger emphasis this game?
I mean, that's an emphasis every game. The DBs, yeah, we have every right to talk to the D-line, but the D-line has every right to talk to us. So TCU, yeah, we could have been out there like, hey, D-line, hurry up, get to the quarterback. But at the same time, they could have been like, hey, hurry up, cover your dude. But, each and every game, we all play our own roles. We just encourage the D-line, hey, y'all boys keep doing what y'all doing, create disruptions for the quarterback, and, you know, when the sacks come, I know they're going to get them.
Going through what you guys went through last year, how important was it to get that big win on the road, first Big 12 game, and to be 1-0 in the conference? How much does that build confidence in you guys moving forward?
I would say that builds a lot of confidence, all because, you know, like RJ said last year, we struggled with finishing in the second half, and I feel like when we played TCU, a lot of the dudes who did come back from last year, they held that chip on their shoulder, like, we're not going to be that same team from last year. We're not going to be that team that goes out in the first half, does horrible, and then come out in the second half and just lays down. We have more fight in us, I feel like.
Deshaun gave a speech before that second to last drive saying, we're going to go get the ball back, give it to KJ, and he's going to score. He goes out, makes 3 big plays. What's it like to have a guy like that in your room? I
mean, it gives you more confidence in your defense overall, because you know everybody out there, including him, is giving their all. Even if the score is, you know, how it was 21-7. You know you still have teammates who are out there giving it all and not laying down. So I mean, as a defense overall, you can count on your brothers to not lay down, and as you can see, the outcome is what it is.
I know RJ was talking about this team sort of just focusing on the game itself, the opponent you're playing, and that's sort of it. But with all the excitement that comes along with being on the national stage, having Big Game kickoff here, having game be at home, how do you let that motivate you as well and sort of get you excited, because it is a huge opportunity?
I mean, yes, it's a huge opportunity, but I mean, kind of like RJ said, you can't really take each game by like what's happening around. So yeah, Colorado's gonna be on the big screen and everything. You can get very high on that and forget what you're focusing on, which leads to mistakes and like that. Or you can just stay focused on, hey, it's another game. Just like any NFL player, it's just another game. You can't treat every game like it's like. You have to treat every game like it's a Super Bowl. You can't treat every game like it's just practice or whatever. You have to treat every game in each practice like it's a Super Bowl. You have to go 100%, because if you don't, when you get to the game, then it's going to be a shock to your body. So you shock your body now, by the time the game comes, you're ready.
So you got Travis Hunter this week, who's elite on both sides of the ball. What stood out to you on film so far?
I mean, his athleticism stood out. I mean, he's a great player. I mean, the player he goes both ways. There's not many college players who do that, and for him to compete at a high level on both sides, I mean, it's astonishing. I mean, got to go out there. We got to do what we got to do to, I would say, hinder him in that.
Is that something that you think you could do?
I hope so. I mean, hey, I have confidence in myself, but you know, people have abilities. People have different abilities, and you know, I play to mine and he played to his.
So I asked Coach about this, and I asked you as well. Yes, there is a lot of attention, there's a lot of media, everything and such. But what kind of atmosphere are you expecting? And along with that, what does what kind of impact does the community have on you guys? So like the fans, the students, the townspeople. What does that bring to the atmosphere? And what does that do for you guys?
I mean, overall, I'm expecting the bounce out to be bouncing like it always is. And I mean, for a team, you know, on defense, it's going to be super loud. So our communication is going to be at an all-time high, because we can't afford to make mistakes against a team with a very deep threat in receiver room. So we're gonna be out there giving out hand signals, talking if we can. But I mean, the community, it gives us more confidence that we're not in this alone. That our fan base is behind us, no matter if we lose or win, and just keep pushing.
Perfect. Good stuff. Thanks so much.
No problem.